Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be recommending the Federal Communications Commission a specific auction type when it comes to their wireless spectrum rights. And as you can see, there is four main auction types, which is first price, second price, English, and Dutch auctions. Moving on, over here we can see the overview of the specific case. So what we're trying to pursue is to choose the right auction type when selling wireless spectrum rights. And the main consideration that we want to take into account is that we are risk neutral there's going to be risk neutral telecommunications company bidding on that auction. And the four auction types that we're going to consider is first price, second price, English, and Dutch. And now let's get more familiar with each one of them. So we're here for the first price. We can see that without knowing each other's bids, bidders place a single bid, and the winning bidder pays the sum of their winning bid. And then for the second price, it's very similar to the first bid, but in this case, the second bid, the winning bid is going to be paying out the second best bid. And therefore, it can be a little bit tricky, but it definitely can be seen as a more fair auction type compared to the first price bids auctions. And then when it comes to the English auction, it is an open ascending price auction, which is the widely known and the most known auction and the most traditional one, where bidders compete with one another when there is no greater bid placed, the auction is over, and the last person receives the actual product that they were bidding for. When it comes to the Dutch one, in this case, it is in a descending order, where the auctioneer sets the starting bid up high and then gradually reduces it until the bidder agrees to the specific amount that was set up over there. And within those images, you can see more in details of what each one of those auctions represent. As mentioned previously, Dutch auction is a descending quick one, and then the English auction is the ascending and slow one while waiting for everyone to bid their prices. And then in the descending one, the first person to say their wanted price is going to win or bid on the product and get the product themselves. Moving on to applying the auction types to the actual wireless spectrum rights. So in this case, we can see identical valuations. For example, bidders value spectrum rights identically, but have different estimates of its true value. Therefore, there's several concepts and specific factors that we need to consider when choosing the right auction type. And when it comes to revenue maximization, which is our main goal in this case, first price auction is going to have a risk of underbidding due to strategic bidding, more specifically when those telecommunication companies are going to on purpose bid less in order to monopolize the market and provide a right for wireless spectrum without paying an extremely high price, and therefore they would be able to save on that and also at the same time scam the actual auction, which is something that we don't want to happen ever again. And for the second price, it encourages truthful bidding and reduces risk of underbidding because the bidder is going to win the second highest bid, meaning that they would not be able to on purpose lower their bids without knowing it. And as a result, it's going to be seen as a more fair assessment for the actual wireless spectrum rights. With English auction, it is transparent, which allows bidders to update bids based on other actions. And with Dutch auction, it is a risk of bidders waiting too long and could result in lower prices because they would wait for it too long for it to go down, which could also have some conspiracy theories in a way that they were waiting for it on purpose and everything was planned out in advance. While in the English auction, that would be impossible in this case. And with the second and first price auctions, the key component is that bidders are going to be bidding on what they're assuming the other competitors have on what the value that the other competitors have valued the spectrum rights at, and therefore they would have to be very cautious on the actual bid that they're going to be putting out. Now, lastly, let's look at the final recommendation that I have provided, which is the second price auction as the most valuable and the most profitable auction type that would be seen from this case. And more specific, this happens specifically because it encourages truthful bidding, reduces the winner's curse, and it maximizes revenue. And what I mean by winner's curse is that, for example, in English bidding or within first price bidding, the winner's curse means that the actual bidder wants the product so much that they don't care how much it costs, and then after they actually win it, then they figure out that it's not worth as much as they've actually bid it for, and therefore they're at a loss for the provided value of a product. And therefore this is what they're trying to avoid in this case, by basically receiving the second best bid when winning. And then it also applies to the risk neutrality, where a bidder's risk neutral ideology is supported by strategic simplicity of the second price auctions. And then it's also fair and transparent, which is perceived as more fair because bidders pay based on competitors' valuations, as I mentioned before, rather than on what the other actions are during the English or Dutch auctions. And therefore, this would be the most optimal auction type for spectrum rights, wireless spectrum rights, and this is what I would recommend. Thank you, and here are my references, and goodbye.